Call this meeting to order. Monday night, we will have a review of the payment of the bills. We'll go over the minutes, January 22nd and January 26th, and then we've got one appointment and one reappointment for the Hoover Arts Council. Ms. Dickerson.
Yes, one of these appoints Heather Skaggs to serve on the Hoover Arts Council for a term ending May 31st of 2030. And the next is reappointing Pamela Sale to the Arts Council for the same period ending May 31st of 2030.
Very good. Mr. Schultz, thank you for bringing those recommendations. Any questions concerning these appointments or reappointments? Have anything to add, Mr. Schultz?
No, I do not.
Okay, very well. Resolution number 874126, approving alcohol license for O Sushi Incorporated, doing business as O Sushi, located at 5519 Grove Boulevard. Ms. Dickerson.
Yes, the location is 5519 Grove Boulevard. This is for the sale of retail beer and retail table wine for on and off premises consumption. And the planning department and the police department have no issues with the request.
Excellent. Any questions concerning this item?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Mr. President, sorry. I'm curious, is this a change in the type of alcohol license that they have at that location, or it is just they've not previously had one?
Might be a change in ownership.
Yeah, usually it'll be a change in ownership or it'll be a different person that has.
Gotcha.
Any changes, they have to go back.
Understood.
Do you see that on your paperwork there, Ms. Dickerson?
Yeah, I'm trying to look through it and see if it says anywhere the difference.
You can research that maybe get that to council over the weekend. Moving on to resolution number 874226, authorizing the mayor to execute Tyler CAD export interface agreement for 911. Ms. Moore, come on down. I always want to say that, like Price is Right. Oh, Roddy White, come on down.
All right, how are y'all this evening? This item is budgeted, not asking for additional funding, just need execution of the document, the agreement. But this system, currently we have a voice recorder that records everything in the 911 center, radio, traffic, all the phone calls, and then we have our computer-aided dispatch system. But what this would do is bring all of those resources into one portal, if you will, so that it would facilitate pulling incident, all of those elements in together in a more timely manner for quality improvement.
Very well. Any questions or comments concerning this?
Yes, Mr. President. If this system is the one that when we visited there that was down that day, if the cab system goes down, does the recording go down as well, or is the...
No, sir, they're all disparate systems.
They are?
Yes,
even though they are, it's the same system, but they are on separate...
This would interface to the CAD and our voice logging recorder, and our recorder captures audio from telephone calls and radio, and then we have our computer-aided, our data, if you will, in that computer system for dispatch calls for service. But it would bring it into one, so that currently what we have to do is if we need to pull an incident, say we have a complaint or a police department or fire department wants to find information out, we'd have to go to the CAD system, pull that record, then go sign in for the logging recorder, pull the audio, which could be quite time consuming. You've got to sort through everything to find the actual date and time of the call. And the same with phone calls. You've got to check all the phone lines, 911 lines, and so forth. This would make it much more efficient, less time consuming, and we can get to it, more quickly.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Very well. Resolution 874326, authorizing the mayor to submit an application for the Rebuild Alabama Act Annual Grant Program for fiscal year 2026. Ms. Rosemary.
Hello. So a couple of weeks ago, it may have been a month, we gave our report on what we did this previous fiscal year for Rebuild Alabama with our gas taxes. This is a different, it's Rebuild Alabama funding, but it's a grant from the DOT. So what we're proposing to do is to resurface Sulphur Springs Road and a portion of Sandpiper Lane using this grant. It would be $350,000 we're applying for from the DOT and a $100,000 local match. So it could help us stretch our gas tax further.
Very good. Any comments or questions?
Mr. President, Ms. Rosemary, what do those roads come back identified as A through F?
I do not have that letter grade. I can get that to you though, because we do an annual pavement assessment, and I'll be happy to get that to you.
Are there other roads that need attention quicker?
These are the two, on Sulphur Springs, based on both traffic and based on the level of service, their pavement rating, that's how these are selected. But yeah, we do have a lot of other streets. We do have, our gas tax funds, so we are going to have a whole list of streets that need resurfacing we'll be able to do. We isolated these two to try to leverage the state funds with our gas taxes in Hoover.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any further questions or comments? All right. Resolution 874426, authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with United Ability. Well, you don't look like Ms. Coball, but welcome.
I told her I put her name on it, but that I would take it tonight. How are y'all? Yeah, this is a memorandum of understanding with United Ability, with the city, in which United Ability would provide participants to work and learn real-world job experience at the Hoover Rec Center. They would also, like United Ability, would provide supervision and payment for these participants. And if approved, they would start on February the 16th.
Awesome. It's a great program. Any comments or questions, Michael? All right, you got off easy. Mr. Smith's mighty quiet tonight.
It's not Monday yet.
Resolution number 874526, authorizing the general manager of Hoover SFM to execute a license agreement with Perfect Game Incorporated on behalf of the city of Hoover. Mr. Ealy.
Good evening. Our current agreement with Perfect Game ended December 31st of 2025. We're looking for a 3-year contract renewal with 2 one-year options if all parties are agreeable. We increased the field per day rate by $50 this year, and then we've got a 10% escalator in there every year. So this contract generates over $200,000 annually in revenue, and Perfect Game has an enormous economic impact for the area.
Very good. Any questions or comments?
Yes, sir.
I have one.
Is there any chance that they would increase the renewal options? Like to 2-year periods or a 3-2-1?
I think they'd be agreeable to anything.
Or is that something the city would want?
I think they're trying to lock in 5 years, essentially, is what they want to get.
3-2-1 would lock in 6.
I don't know. At this point, I believe it's under a pretty tight time frame. Do you think you have enough time to?
Well, their first
right?
event is February 19th, so yeah, we're trying to get this locked and loaded.
Very good. It was just a thought.
Sure.
Ms. Schultz?
Going through the paperwork, going through the paperwork, Exhibit E, which is the rules and regulations. Who enforces those?
We attempt to there's a couple of exhibits there. Is that the fire department?
Well, there's a couple here,
Oh, no, Exhibit E is something that we enforce,
you enforce.
our staff at the Hoover Met Complex.
All right, thank you.
Any,
Yeah, Mr. President, I just got a comment. And on February 19th, so I guess why did it take for a while to get this contract discussion? Because of election, I mean, a lot of things were going on.
The change in the transition of leadership.
Okay,
and
okay.
as well as legal services.
All right. How many people do we record they produce?
I don't know if I know the number of people off the top of my head, but we have calculated anywhere from $23 to $25 million annually in economic impact.
And my last question, do we keep counts of different events based upon ticket sales or door count? I'm just trying to, again, they've been great for us. I just want to kind of know.
Not all events are ticketed, so we do a combination of both. If they are ticketed, we go off of ticket sales. Otherwise, we're also comparing entry through doors.
I would like to know just for future, even if it's an estimate, each event to know what we actually generate long-term as far as individuals that visit our locations, if we can start getting that count. And I've seen it before.
For all events or just Perfect Game?
Maybe from a category base, maybe the larger ones that we have, not for the smaller events, but I know we've had for years some large AAU basketball tournaments and also large volleyball tournaments.
Yeah, most all basketball, volleyball, and Perfect Game. Most of their tournaments are all over 100 teams at a minimum.
Yeah, I just would like to, if y'all keep up with those numbers like that, it would just be great.
Sure. Yep.
Great to know.
Happy to get that.
any further questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Resolution number 874626, authorizing the mayor to execute a contract for professional services with NARAM Strategies Corporation for strategic marketing and communications leadership. Mr. Munger.
Yes, sir. Good evening. So as you'll recall, during the budget discussion, one of the items that was a priority for the mayor and the council was to restore the use of the room fee, $2 per night, to be used for its originally stated purpose, which is tourism and marketing promotion. And what you have tonight is a comprehensive proposal from NARAM, that is Mr. Ellis's company, that would coordinate and also interact with and supplement with our existing PIO and marketing person to develop different videos, written promotions, and tourism-related items at a rate not to exceed $16,700 a month, with a one-time setup fee for software and materials of $15,000 due at the end of the year, or excuse me, prior to the end of this month. That amount was budgeted for $200,000 in the budget, and so this is within our original spending goal with some to spare.
Okay. Any comments or questions for Mr. Munger?
Is there an end date on this, or is this in perpetuity?
It is not in perpetuity. It is through the end of this fiscal year only, and would be renewable and something the council could evaluate and consider during the upcoming budget process.
Okay, thanks.
Any other? Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
That will end the consent agenda items, unless any of those get pulled off on Monday night. We go into the regular agenda, Resolution 874726, resolution updating the City of Hoover General Fund Balance Reserve Policy. Ms. Lopez.
Good evening. Wendy, can you bring that one file up? Thank you. So this is basically a resolution that will change our existing fund balance policy. I know it had been changed I think it was April sometime. Currently we have two resolutions in play. One is the fund balance policy, and then there's also what's called an emergency fund. I think those are actually redundant, so this proposal actually does away with the emergency fund And in the proposal of the fund balance policy, we actually moved to what's going to be a range. You can see, do I have a pointer up here or anything? Or I don't? Okay. Yeah, just point around and I'll talk about it. So basically, this proposal is a range from 35 to 40%. The range provides you some flexibility, I believe. First of all, having it based on a percentage allows it to automatically kind of keep up with it's a percentage of general fund revenue, actual. So it allows us to keep up with it without having to follow a CPI every year and that sort of thing. So we're always have to stay within that range. Having a maximum and having that top end of the range of 40% requires that a transfer then will be made out of the general fund into the capital projects fund. Whereas in past years, we've just kind of been building up the general fund, and that doesn't allow those funds really to be put to use if it sits there. The current policy does not require a transfer, whereas this one will. Once it gets to 40%, there will be a requirement to transfer the money. In addition, the range provides flexibility in the sense that this proposal, specifically for fiscal 25 at the end of the year, I'm suggesting that we look, it's estimating $12.5 million in yellow there. Basically, I'm going to say 39.75% because as the numbers change, I don't want to say 12.5 and then it's over 40. So I'm just going to say 39.75%, kind of the top end of the range, gives a little flexibility. And so that gives us a cushion for any like known things that we're already committed to, but we don't necessarily know all the costs. So maybe we can have some a cushion there that will help in those situations as well. Just information, the GFOA, which is the Government Finance Officers Association, they're kind of the premier national organization, professional organization in public finance. Their recommendation on a fund balance policy is a minimum of 2 months of general fund unless there's any kind of what they call significant issues that might suggest otherwise. And I believe our heavy reliance on sales tax, they'll say that you need to significantly increase that from 2 months. So with this 35 to 40% range, it's 4.2 to 4.8 months of fund balance is what I'm proposing.
Very good. Thank you. Any comments or questions for Ms. Lopez?
I do, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Melinda, again, thank you for all the hard work that you and your team have done. I know it's been very painstaking, so thank you. We really appreciate it. I know all the grind that y'all have to do behind the scenes this just proves why I never got into accounting, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
I believe you have the next one as well. Resolution 874826, a resolution approving the FY 2025 year-end budget amendment.
So on this particular amendment, you'll see the Exhibit A actually has this is considered our year-end cleanup amendment for fiscal 25 before we get ready for our audit. So this basically looks at any overages that existed during the year, and we're trying to bring them to you all just to clean those up and approve the budget to cover those, as well as there are a few grants in here as well that we're going ahead that they're known about. Those monies will automatically carry over to 26. For the most part, there's about $1 to $1.5 million related to personnel, but it's only like a 1 to 1.5% of the overall payroll budget. One thing to keep in mind, we are not currently using an official payroll projection software, which will kind of help, I think, solidify those budgets in future years if we can get that implemented. So that's why we have some of these that are a little bit higher than maybe, hopefully they will be in the future. In addition, we have increased, the revenue rebates were a little more than we're budgeted by about $500,000. And there are a few other operating increases as well. We had quite a big transfer to cover the what's called the OPEB liability, the actuarial that comes out. The OPEB is your other post-employment benefits. That's basically your retiree health insurance. to cover that to where basically that fund will be at zero versus in the negative. So, and then, of course, we will have what the capital projects transfer that we just discussed. That will be one of these items as well.
Any further questions on this item, Ms. Lopez? Thank you. We will revisit ordinance number 262687, levying an additional $20 for each residential building permit issued in the city of Hoover to fund Central Alabama Home Building Academy. Any changes or anything to the first reading, Mr. Waldrep?
I mean, this is simply adding to each permit. It's estimated it'll add about $100 total to the cost of new construction, and the money will be used to fund an academy for the construction industry, residential. The Associated Builders and Contractors have a similar merit shop that they use. And the home builders are asking each municipality in Jefferson County to participate in this. In fact, I think it's Jefferson and Shelby.
Very good. Any questions or comments concerning this? This will be a second reading and possible vote. Okay, seeing none, we will set a public hearing. Resolution 873826, granting conditional use approval for a 3-tenant shopping center for the property located at 1543 Montgomery Highway. Mr. Martin.
Good evening. This particular case was heard by the Planning Commission back on January 15th. It comes to you with a positive recommendation with 2 conditions, and I believe these 2 conditions have actually already been met. The first condition being a cross-shared access agreement with the property to the north is recorded. I believe we got confirmation that it is recorded by their legal counsel. And the second condition, that variances are obtained related to parking, landscaping, and setbacks. The Board of Zoning Adjustment met on January 20th to consider the variance requests and did indeed approve variances for setbacks on the property, parking requirements, as well as tree conservation requirements, given the physical constraints of this particular property. So at this point, it appears that those conditions have all been met.
Very good. Any comments or questions for Mr. Martin? Very good. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Before we adjourn, there was one additional addition, I believe, to the consent agenda. Ms. Dickerson?
Yes, this will be for the concurrence with the mayor on an appointment to the Arts Council for Matina Johnson.
Mr. President, Ms. Lopez, could I get you to come back up for just a moment?
See, I knew it was awfully quiet down there.
Yeah, well, I've been saving. Years and years ago, on occasions, the council would be provided a complete list of our capital-funded projects. About 90% of those, if not more, were all roadway projects. Can the council get a full copy of those again?
You certainly can. The question's going to be when you would need it. That was obviously under an old software system.
Right.
And so it will take some time, I think, to put that together under this software system, but it's certainly something we can work toward.
I think that would help everybody understand some of the things that we're going to be looking at going into the new capital budget as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any further comments from council before we adjourn?
Yeah, a couple quick questions, Mr. President. So just want to council, since we are already in first quarter and about to start navigating our way out of it to the second eventually, we had discussed earlier about the need for the city administrator. So March, we need to either have that conversation to proceed and or take it out of the budget. So I did want to make sure I bring that back forth to everyone's attention. Also, myself and Councilmember McClinton did meet with the mayor, and we had a good meeting about commercial and economic development and his vision around that as it relates to what the council also, from a board standpoint, who we appoint, we have multiple commercial boards, from the IDB Industrial Board to the Commercial Development Authority to the Downtown Redevelopment Authority. So for some time now, it's been standalone from the legislation wing to the operational, and we want to kind of tie that back in together to make sure those boards are not going in a different direction than the city's vision, right? So we'll be determining whether or not we maintain all boards or consolidate it. That's the only reason why I bring that up. So, but we had a great meeting, and I think it was a success. Councilmember McClinton, did I cover that too?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
And Mr. President, I also had something.
Sure.
Just in response to Councilman Murphy, I have requested, I think you've already gathered some benchmarking data from the city of Huntsville and the city of Birmingham regarding a council administrator position or positions. And just a reminder that I don't think I've received that from you yet. Thanks.
Any further comments? Mr. Mayor, do you have anything to add? All right.